the alleged bully, Hiro Mikoshiba, turns up dead. There is no mistaking the motive in his murder. As Yagami looks into the heart of the matter, a suicide 4 years prior, he is met with brutal backlash from the underworld. Why does Yagami face resistance at every turn? As night falls over Ichincho, the answer slips further into darkness.
Yes, we have grief counselors on site.
Hello. You've reached
Yes.
Serio High School. Yes.
That's right.
It's tragic news. Mikoshiba-kun was one of our student teachers here, and the school is coping with it as best we can.
Of course. Yes, our parents and guardians have every right to be upset about this. Yes. Oh, yes.
Now to the murder victim found in Izazaki, Ijincho.
Yes.
Authorities announced that they have identified the body as Hiro Mikoshiba, a student teacher at Serio High School. Autopsy reports indicate the cause of death was blood loss from a sharp object. Mikoshiba was reported as a missing person 2 months ago in October, and
What's the plan
police
today, fellas?
early on.
Honest, this hangover is kicking my ass. I'm gonna be kinda useless.
Maybe don't drink until sunrise.
That's no good. Without you, Kaito-san, who's gonna be the brains of this whole operation?
You'll have to manage, man.
I figure I'll head back to Serio High today. I should check in on Sawa-sensei, see how she's holding up.
She's got a lot on her shoulders now, huh? Pretty teacher like her doesn't deserve it.
Right from the outset, Sawa-sensei flat out denied that Mikoshiba ever bullied Toshiro Ehara. But then we learned she confronted him about his actions 4 years ago. Which means she was starting to suspect he was the bully.
Then some chicken shades shows up, makes some threats, and suddenly teacher's lips are sealed shut, huh?
Whoever she was, she has to be involved with the murder. How else could she have Mikoshiba's picture from right before he died?
It's almost like the killer was trying to hide any trace of bullying. And if so, that's pretty bizarre.
Why's that?
I mean, if Mikoshiba really was the bully, why bother covering that up? Wouldn't it work in their favor if word of that spread? That way the murder would be, I don't know, more justified?
Yeah, I do see the logic there.
Okay. But what gets me is, why would Sawa-sensei change her answer like that?
Have you considered she may have been pressured to hide the truth? Perhaps by an overcautious superior? I wouldn't put it past Chairman Okuda to pull something like that.
I doubt he has that kind of sway over her, though. Sawa-sensei doesn't exactly mince words with him. Guess we'll have to ask her directly if we really want to know.
Yeah, but didn't she make it pretty clear you need to keep your distance?
What kind of a detective would I be if I gave up because of that?
Point taken. Well, is there anything I can do to help?
Oh, sure is. Help me kick this damn hangover.
Say what?
Might as well hang back, Sugiura. Only I can get in and out of the school without raising a red flag right now.
Excuse me, Yagami-san?
Huh? Koda-san, what's up? Did a teacher call you over?
Actually, I wanted to talk to you.
Okay.
I saw it on the news earlier. Mikoshiba-sensei was killed. But you already knew that, didn't you?
Yeah.
I figured you knew something.
Guess that's why you've been asking about him. You should have told us, man.
I couldn't. I knew how hard you guys would have taken it.
You know who did it? I mean a lot for us to know. Seeing how he looked after us and all.
We're still in the dark about that, mostly. Unless you guys have any leads. All we have to go on is he was probably killed soon after he stopped going to class.
So, he really was murdered.
He said on TV it took them 2 months to find the body. Could that mean it happened on the day he went missing?
A good theory, Matsun, but you're starting to sound like one of those mystery club geeks.
Oh, what did Sawa-sensei tell you? She give you anything solid?
Nah, we didn't really get into it yesterday. Way too many, other things came up.
Damn. It's just... It's hard hearing all this, man. Will you at least keep us posted if you find out anything?
No promises, I'm afraid. But hey, I'm glad you guys are warming up to me.
I'm Matsui, by the way.
That's more like it.
Could you keep me in the loop too? I didn't like Mikoshiba-sensei much, but I never imagined this. Now I'm kinda conflicted about the whole thing.
I get that.
Anyway, I should get going.
Hey, Sawa-sensei?
Look, I know I can't keep you off campus. I don't have that kind of authority. But would you please stop bothering me?
Can you at least tell me what happened yesterday?
Enough! How many times must I repeat myself?
Hey, Tsukumo? It's me. You think you could pin down where Mikoshiba's body was discovered?
Of course. In fact, I can do that pretty quickly. What? Did you want to go there now?
That's the idea.
Okay, but do note that it's been a few days since they found him. The police may have already scooped up the evidence.
Yeah, but I want to check it out anyway. Then I can decide if it was a waste of time.
In other words, you've got a detective's intuition? What a superpower to have. Okay, here we go. They found Mikoshiba's body in an abandoned building near Sakura River. It's near a small park. On the second floor of the building, specifically. The first floor is just a bunch of empty boutiques.
You're the man, Tsukumo. Thanks. Hello? Anybody here? Coming through. Now, where exactly was the body? There's gotta be some clues that'll give me that. Huh? Are these burn marks?
Hey, I heard something. Who's there? State your name and purpose.
Well...
Get some backup over here.
Hey, now, wait a second. Can we maybe talk this out?
Put your hands up and turn around. Who are you and what were you up to? Takayuki Yagami. The Yagami Detective Agency.
Yeah, in Kamurocho.
Weren't you the guy at Seirio yesterday? I could have sworn I saw your face there.
Huh? Maybe.
The name's Watanabe. Kanagawa PD Division 1. Charmed, I'm sure. This fella here is Sakurai.
Sup?
So, you think barging into a crime scene was a real bright idea?
What, I thought you guys were done here. I figured I could take a look around. What?
You wouldn't happen to be working with Genda Law, would you?
Huh?
You hear on Shirosaki-sensei's business? Saori Shirosaki, right? The grouchy one.
Okay, how'd you know?
Well, it started when Mikoshiba's body turned up. Once our investigation kicked off, we found out about that pervert cop in Tokyo. Seems he knew where the body would be. But when we went to go see him, HQ pumped the brakes. They said no interviews on this one. Much to our amusement, we ended up being directed to Shirosaki, the perv's lawyer. So being that Genda Law office is in Kamurocho, and you're a Kamurocho detective working your case, that means either the two of you are connected, or I'm really losing my touch.
Well, you've certainly got my number. Now that you know, how about taking these cuffs off?
Smooth, but the jury's still out on you, pal. First, you got any thoughts on all that?
On anything specific?
The part about HQ locking us out of interviewing Ehara, smart guy. Here we are with a material witness who it turns out knew about a corpse rotting away for 2 months. And those Tokyo chuckleheads just shut us out. Balls even for those tight asses.
Ehara was Tokyo PD, so wouldn't they want to protect him? They probably want it handled discreetly.
Nah, if only it were that simple. This isn't about protection. They get burnt real bad if they tried to bury this shit under the rug. Besides, not only is this cop a nasty creep, he's got ties to a fucking murder. Another prefecture blows the lid on that, the top brass may as well kiss their jobs goodbye. Heads would roll. They've got to wash the shit stains off their laundry to keep their asses clean.
Yeah, I could see how that makes sense.
Anyway, so HQ told us their boys would look into Ehara. What we had to do was hand them our notes on the murder. Can you believe that crap? Like hell we're gonna bend over for them. But look where that's got us. Now nobody's interrogated Ehara.
Are Kanagawa and Tokyo PD really fighting over who gets the credit? Don't tell me they're that petty.
Like you wouldn't believe. While the higher-ups play intel hoarding games, Ehara's just sitting pretty. Shit. The cop's supposed to be chasing down the perps. Instead, here I am with my hands tied, bitching to a PI.
So I'm your therapist now.
I was gonna take you down to the station and put the squeeze on you. But if you're a half-decent detective, maybe we could collaborate.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I mean, you came all the way from Kamurocho to sniff around here, right? I highly doubt you found much. But tell me something I don't know and maybe the cuffs will fall off.
You proposing a deal?
Depends on if what you've got is worth making one.
Okay. How about this?
What the hell?
Hiro Mikoshiba. Was this taken here? Right before he died?
Where did you get this? What kind of shit you trying to pull?
I could tell you better with the cuffs off.
Craftier than I thought. Fine, let him loose. Alright, let me get this straight. Right before you met up with this Seiryo High teacher, a strange woman showed up with this photo?
Yeah. I couldn't get a good look at her. But it seems whatever threat she made worked. Sawa-sensei wouldn't say a thing after that.
Saw was the one who supervised Mikoshiba for his student teaching program.
I know that. So, this woman you're talking about must have had it in with the culprits. You know they were working in a group.
That's quite a revelation. What makes you so sure about that?
Sakurai, show him the photo of the body. And spare me the protocol lecture. I'm sick of this going nowhere. If If Hotshot here is gonna look into Ehara for us, we may as well take advantage of it.
You're the boss, Nabe-san.
Mikoshiba was last seen alive 2 months ago, October 7th, 6:30 a.m. He was talking to his mother as he exited their house back in the city. Since there were no other sightings of him, it's likely he was abducted a short ways from his home. This had to be done by vehicle, as common sense would tell us. So there must have been at least 2 suspects, a driver and a handler. If it were me, I'd have put 3 on the job.
So that's why you figured it was a group effort. Sounds logical to me.
Mm-hmm. Now, according to the autopsy report, they found food in the poor guy's stomach. Based on how digested it was, we can assume he was killed at least an hour after breakfast, putting it around 7:30. Then not long after, he was brought here. His throat was slit with a knife. Get all that, Hotshot? And what was our friend Ehara doing at that time? The old perv was walking through Ikebukuro's ticket gates around 7:43 a.m. This was stated in court and corroborated by multiple security tapes.
But if that's true, he couldn't possibly have killed Mikoshiba. It's 30 kilometers between here and Ikebukuro.
Yeah, that's the meat of his alibi. Yet somehow he knew Mikoshiba's body would be discovered 2 months after his arrest, despite being in custody the whole time. So there's no doubt he's connected to the killers. If we can just put the screws to him, he'd squeal. Damn it, HQ! Why the hell are we out here working the site if it's already been picked clean?
All right, Nabe-san. Deep breaths.
Yeah. But do you see why we've got to get someone in to talk to Ehara? Hell, beg Shirosaki-sensei for a visit if you have to. HQ can't say squat about his attorney visiting.
What you said raises some questions of my own, about the crime scene and the body.
Oh yeah? Ask away then.
How narrow is the window for Mikoshiba's estimated time of death?
Based on how digested his breakfast was, he was killed somewhere between 7:30 and noon on the morning of October 7th.
Pretty impressed you can narrow it down like that with a 2-month-old corpse.
Yeah, well, the window gets much bigger if we consider the possibility that the killers forced Mikoshiba to eat. At any point after the kidnapping, they could have made him eat a typical Mikoshiba family breakfast.
It's possible. All they had to do was make him say what he usually eats.
Good, we're on the same page. Now, if we take into account the decomposition of the body, Mikoshiba's estimated time of death actually ranges from 7:30 a.m. on October 7th all the way to the end of that month. So about 3 weeks.
3 weeks? That's a massive gap. Can't we narrow it down further?
The body's just too decomposed to do that. But expand the time frame all you want. Ehara was in custody through the whole thing, so he couldn't have done the deed.
Right. He spent 2 months behind bars. Hate to think a different crime got him such a strong alibi.
In any case, someone else killed Mikoshiba. If we could just get in the same room as him, we'd know who that is.
What was the victim's cause of death? The news called it a massive hemorrhage.
Yep. They slit his throat and let him bleed to death. After tying him to a chair, the killer stood behind him. And lifting his chin with his left hand, his right hand slid the knife.
Sounds like you guys have that bit on lockdown, huh?
It's one of the few things we're sure of.
I noticed the burn marks on the floor in the shape of an arrow. What's with that?
Somebody lit flares here, the ones that shoot red smoke. It was only a matter of time before the fire department got called, and they're the ones who stumbled on the body. Pretty obvious the culprit set up a smoke signal to make sure the body got found. It probably had the timing all worked out with Ehara so he could predict the body's discovery from maximum impact. And that's exactly what he did, just as the judge handed down the sentence.
What would be the point of that, though?
For all I know, he just wanted to blow everyone's minds.
What shape was the body in when it was found?
Full of maggots and decomposing bad. His hands were zip-tied behind the chair, securing him in place. The cause of death was the throat wound, but before that, they really worked him over. Rough way for the guy to go.
Damn.
They even broke all his fingers. On both hands.
That sounds painful.
Fucked up, right? I'm guessing a professional did this. Could be Yakuza, could be Mafia, take your pick. We've got some guys checking that angle out too, just to make sure there's no stone left unturned.
Doesn't this place have a manager? I'm sure it wasn't always like this.
There is a property owner. He's been around Ijincho forever, but the building's been deserted for 2 years. Apparently, there was a padlock to keep the homeless out, but it was long gone by the time they found the body. Broken by the killers, most likely.
Has the murder weapon been found?
No. There were no weapons at the scene. A real shame. That'd be some decisive evidence.
So when you said it was a knife, was that a guess based on analyzing the wound?
I wouldn't call it a guess. The coroner outright stated that the weapon was a sharp knife-like instrument.
I think I'm starting to get the picture here. That should be it for questions.
Tell me, you detectives out in Kamurocho always this hands-on?
Sorry, what?
I'm saying you guys work quick. We had barely set foot in Seiryo High, and you already had the run of the place. Hell, you even closed in on that Sawa sensei and got a meeting with her.
I was just lucky to have been there on another case.
Is that right? What? What's wrong?
Somebody's spying on us with binoculars.
No shit?
3 men, 30s probably. The one with binoculars is wearing a black jacket. My number's on my card!
Yagami! Damn, hotshot. You're quick on your feet. So let's hear why this fool had eyes on us.
He claims he just wanted to see the scene for himself.
It's true. Ask the other 2 guys with me. They'll be here any minute.
So you were here gawking, is that it? Better than busting in like you own the place.
I thought that was water under the bridge.
So, who are you? Why'd you run?
I ran because I saw a cop jump out a window and charge at me. Are you saying you'd stick around if you saw that?
He thinks you're a cop. Should we get you a badge and a hat?
I'd be honored.
You have any ID on you?
Will my license work?
Kake-san, age 30.
What do you do for work?
Oh, I'm just a professional pencil pusher. Biotech, planning and management.
Are your other 2 pals biologists too?
No, one's an investor and the other's a consultant. We all went to high school together.
Says here you have a Tokyo address. What brings you to Yokohama?
Oh, well, I'm organizing a class reunion in Chinatown. So I came to scope out the location in advance.
This ain't the way to Chinatown, pal.
Oh, we thought since we came all the way to Yokohama, we might as well peek at the crime scene.
Pretty morbid idea, isn't it?
I suppose.
What high school did you all attend?
Kurakawa Academy, a private school in Tokyo. Hey, over here!
We'll need to verify your buddy's identification as well. I suggest you all cooperate. Nabe-san!
Alright, you jokers are free to go. appreciate you being so civil. Guess that settles it. We're just dumbass rubberneckers. Tough break, huh? After all you went through chasing them down.
I don't mind. My motto's to always swing for the fences.
Yeah, well, your strikeout was pretty amusing. The guy who goes down swinging is alright in my book. Now that that's settled, give my regards to Shirosaki-sensei. Hope you get some dirt on Ehara soon.
Hello?
Yagami-san, do you have a minute? It's Shirosaki.
Oh, I was just about to call you. I was gonna say, I've got some leads on the murder. By the way, you wouldn't happen to know a Detective Watanabe, would you? From Kanagawa PD?
Oh, yes. He came asking me about the harassment case. Apparently he couldn't interview Ehara, so he got us instead.
Wanna know why that is? Apparently Tokyo PD suspects Ehara might be linked to the murder in some way. And since they don't want Kanagawa stealing the show, they're blocking their investigators out.
That does make sense. Not in a bureaucratic way.
By the way, when's your next appointment with Ehara?
As soon as we're ready, honestly. Did you want to come along?
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. But I'd like to do a bit more research beforehand. I want to know exactly how Ehara's crime played out.
Funny you should say that. Hoshino-kun just told me he's going to re-inspect the crime scene tomorrow. He said it'd be best to plot Ehara's movement from Ikebukuro all the way to Shinjuku, where he was caught.
No kidding. Then I ought to go with.
If that's the case, hold on one sec.
Okay.
Yagami-san? It's me, Hoshino. I'm stoked to hear you'll be helping me out tomorrow.
I'm stoked to be there. Oh, and could you bring the statements from Ehara's arrest with you? It'd be a huge help if you could walk me through what happened on site.
You got it. We'll be starting from Ikebukuro Station, so just meet me there tomorrow.
Will do. See you then.
Okay, see that sign right there? Ehara was leaning on that before the incident. Yep, just like that. He was standing around searching for a victim. Ehara's the man in the cap and sunglasses.
So, Ehara was lingering at the platform a while, huh?
Yeah, he walked past the ticket gate at 7:43 a.m. This was confirmed by the security tapes as well as when he swiped his transit card. After that, he wandered the platform an entire hour ogling women.
He spent that long choosing a target?
Yeah. Sick, isn't it?
And the security camera that caught him would be... that one?
That's right. Anyhow, at 9:06 a.m., Ehara finally honed in on his would-be victim. Then he boarded her train, which was departing for Shinjuku.
She's the one in the pink cardigan and white skirt?
Yeah, Yui Mamiya, an office worker and mother of a 6-year-old boy. The two of them show up on the train's interior cam as well. According to the victim's statement, Ehara began by rubbing her posterior with the back of his hand. But it didn't stop there. After that, he put his hand up her skirt.
Pretty sickening.
I'm assuming he targeted someone shy, thinking she wouldn't resist. Makes me angry just thinking about it. The victim stated she was too scared to call for help, meaning she endured this for 6 minutes until the train reached its stop in Shinjuku.
Can you send what you just showed me to my phone?
Sure. Now let's head to Shinjuku Station. Then we can watch as the jerk gets busted. Even if we did defend him in court, an asshole's still an asshole. Looks like we're getting close to Shinjuku.
The train's pretty light right now, but it was packed during the crime, right?
Oh yeah, the car occupancy at that time of day can easily reach 180%.
And Ehara should have been standing roughly where I am.
Ehara and Mamiya-san both exited the train and got onto the platform here. But right before that, Mamiya-san suddenly grabbed Ehara's wrist and yanked his hand out from under her skirt. That's when she got a good look at her assailant.
So without a doubt, she saw it was him.
Yes, and there were also traces of her garments on his hand during evidence analysis. Anyway, after being grabbed, Ehara wrenched himself free and took off at a sprint. See, here he gets off the train and bolts across the platform. And Mamiya-san chases after him, asking people around her for help.
Ah, this is what they kept looping on TV.
Yeah. And honestly, with all this evidentiary footage, defending him in court was a lost cause.
Was there any security footage that wasn't aired on TV?
Sure, take a look around you. There's more than just one camera pointed at us. They're practically everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
As for what I was saying earlier, Ehara was finally tackled right in front of those stairs. Oh, right. I have a diagram of the platform to show you.
So Ehara gets off the train here, and then gets apprehended here. How far apart is that?
Roughly 100 meters. Both he and the victim were weaving their way through the crowd. The whole scene was very chaotic. Even after Ehara was caught, the train was stalled 20 minutes until the area was deemed safe.
Hey, you think we could get the positions of all these cameras and where they're pointing penciled in?
Good idea. Let's check each camera's position as we walk over to where Ehara was detained. Okay, looks like we got all the cameras. Our diagram is now complete. Now we'll pencil in the camera locations and what directions they're pointing. So this was the general situation when Ehara committed his crime. What do you think, Yagami-san? Anything of note?
Do you think Ehara and Mamiya-san were riding the train pretty frequently?
Oh yeah, Mamiya-san commuted by train. She was here every weekday. Same goes for Ehara, actually, but he was off that day. Supposedly he was going to see his wife, even though they're separated.
Did he ever say why he wandered around the platform for an hour?
He said the thought of his wife had him flustered and he couldn't force himself to board the train. He always had an excuse ready for anything you asked him, including the harassment charges. He pled not guilty, but the evidence said otherwise. There wasn't a single argument we could make in court to establish reasonable doubt.
Safe to say he did it. But on the same day, he knew his son's bully would be murdered in Ijincho. Pretty clear it wasn't a spontaneous need to grab some ass.
I agree. It's almost like all the commotion around the harassment might have been planned out. Maybe everything was, even down to getting captured.
Yeah. You really played everyone by turning harassment into an alibi for murder. No matter how much evidence points to him as a killer, you can deny it with complete immunity.
This is getting crazier by the minute.
At the very least, he had something to do with it. Some connection. But I can't imagine he'll talk. Whatever his plan is, it's pretty clear Ehara is committed.
To what? Getting revenge for his son?
I think so.
Who do you think his accomplices could be? Ehara's a veteran cop. Think maybe he knows how to hire an actual assassin? If so, he could have just paid for his revenge, right?
Sure, but assassins cost an arm and a leg. He wasn't rich before all this, was he?
No, he barely scraped up enough to cover his lawsuit against the school.
Thought so.
Shirosaki.
What's up, Saori-san?
I'm scheduling an interview with Ehara tomorrow at the Tokyo Detention Center. We'll take a taxi from Genda's if that all works for you.
Sounds good, but I need to head back to Ijincho for now.
Something you forgot to do?
Yeah, it involves Ehara's motive, which would be without a doubt his son's suicide. So I want to confirm if Mikoshiba really bullied the kid, and the best person to ask happens to be down in Ijincho.
Alright, then I'll let you get to it.
Cool, then I'll see you tomorrow. Got a minute?
No, not for you. I really have nothing more to say.
What if I told you it's looking more and more likely Ehara-san had a hand in Mikoshiba's death?
Well, it doesn't concern me.
Ehara-san believes Mikoshiba tormented Toshiro-kun so badly that he took his own life. But neither the third-party investigation nor the courts were on his side. So what's the truth here? You know, don't you? What really happened between Mikoshiba and Toshiro-kun? Why won't you tell me the truth?
Why do you keep asking? I said I don't know!
I'm going to the detention center tomorrow to get some answers out of Ehara-san.
What?
I saw where Mikoshiba was murdered. He endured no shortage of cruelty before he died. They tortured him, you know. They broke all his fingers before they slit his throat.
No.
And somehow Ehara-san knew Mikoshiba would be killed on the day he got caught for groping. It's like he did it to prove he had nothing to do with the murder. But maybe that wasn't his real objective at all.
Huh?
I think he wanted to signal that he'd finally avenged his son.
The body belongs to a guy named Hiro Mikoshiba. 4 years ago, this man took my son from me by driving him to commit suicide.
If I'm gonna face him tomorrow, I can't go in without some ammunition. So, 4 years ago, did Mikoshiba bully Toshiro-kun or not? That's all I want to know.
My answer won't change. There's no evidence Mikoshiba-kun did anything wrong.
Are you sure about that? Take a look at this.
That's...
Toshiro Ehara, your student. Imagine that he's listening to what you're saying now. If you can look at him and say Mikoshiba played no part in his death, I'll leave you alone. In fact, you'll never hear a word from me again. So which is it?
"4 years ago, not long after I'd transferred here to teach English. That's when it started. I was trying my best to get acclimated, and I was finally on a first-name basis with everyone. One day, after school, I was out on the roof taking a break, when Toshiro-kun suddenly ran by. I called out to him to ask what was wrong, but he shushed me and kept running. I saw he had a bloody nose. Moments later, Mikoshiba-kun showed up. He was looking for him. I told him I hadn't seen him. Toshiro-kun's face told me everything I needed to know.
So Mikoshiba was bullying him after all.
Yes. Toshiro-kun told me this later on. Whenever he'd leave school with Mikoshiba-kun and his friends, they'd force him to hand over money. At first, they'd try to pass it off as a joke. They said since he lowered the class average on tests, he ought to buy them all drinks as an apology. And Mikoshiba-kun, he was having too much fun with it to stop. He started offering tutoring sessions to Toshiro-kun, only so he and his crew could extract their tuition from him. They'd even break into his house while his mother was at work and take the money she left him for dinner. And if he couldn't pay, they'd beat him up at school or make him grovel in the bathroom.
Didn't anybody see what was really happening?
The teachers either saw nothing or turned a blind eye. Few students knew about it, though. Anyway, I ended up relaying everything Toshiro-kun had told me to those boys' homeroom teacher. Mind you, this teacher had tenure, title, and years of experience under his belt. Do you know what he told me? He said not to cause a commotion because those boys were about to graduate.
Why does that not surprise me?
To be honest, it was hard to paint such an outwardly model student in a negative light. There was also no hard evidence to support Toshiro-kun's story. But someone still should have stepped in to help. If only I'd understood that at the time.
You tried.
The only thing I tried was to keep an eye out for him, making sure he wasn't alone, things like that. But unfortunately, that wasn't good enough. On the first morning of the 3rd trimester, Toshiro-kun tied a towel to his doorknob and hung himself in his room.
And that's when you confronted Mikoshiba, right? You asked him point blank if he'd bullied him.
I did. Mikoshiba-kun pretended to know nothing. He was more careful, shaken even, from then on. In all honesty, when I heard a third-party committee was investigating, I was hoping the truth would come out. Students were asked to fill out an anonymous questionnaire, and many of them wrote down exactly what they saw.
Hold on. Didn't the court end up declaring there was no substantial evidence of bullying? How could they have said that with those questionnaires on hand?
First of all, the committee never interviewed anyone directly. Those questionnaires were the only proof of anything. And the teacher of those boys was the one who collected them. Each time he came across any mention of bullying, he'd toss that questionnaire out. Also, he wouldn't get blamed in the end for ignoring the warning signs.
So then the committee was pointless.
A few students did speak up about the bullying online, but their posts weren't much to go on. Toshiro-kun's parents were completely caught off guard. His mother worked through the day, and his father lived all the way in Tokyo. That made it that much easier for the teacher to cover up all the evidence of bullying. He made that statement without even consulting the principal or the chairman. So, right before Mikoshiba-kun graduated, the committee presented their findings. That there was no evidence of bullying. The conclusion you've heard over and over.
What the hell?
In Japan, 300 children commit suicide every year, across all grades. Less than 3% are proven to be linked to bullying. Toshiro-kun's case ended up like that too. But Ehara-san wasn't satisfied with those findings. So he sued Seiryo High, demanding compensation for Toshiro-kun's death. As the trial dragged on, I was eventually called to the witness stand. Of course, my intention was to let everything I knew out into the open. But before that could happen, that damn teacher came with the school's attorney to see how I would testify.
They didn't want you making them look bad, huh?
Of course not. That's when I first learned what he did with those incriminating questionnaires. They had no choice but to reveal everything to me, to try and sway me to their side. I guess they were just that desperate. After all, I was the only adult who Toshiro-kun confided in. I don't think he'd spoken to his parents about it once. So yes, that's why there was never any objective evidence of bullying. It wasn't like I had a mind to record our conversations. And I hadn't personally witnessed it either. The school attorney saw fit to remind me that the law says innocent until proven guilty. And if I couldn't produce tangible evidence, then I shouldn't be accusing Mikoshiba-kun.
So it was witness tampering. That is, they coerced you into false testimony?
Yes.
Must have been incredibly hard on you.
What I should have done was told the truth regardless. But what else could I have really done for him? Some days I just don't know. As much as I've tried to convince myself I did everything I could for him, I can never fully believe it.
So what happened to the teacher who covered all this up?
He transferred to another school. God, to think he's still standing at a podium somewhere.
That's unfortunate.
Even so, I don't have the right to place the blame solely on him.
Maybe, but in that case, Mikoshiba's bullying of Toshiro, or those questionnaires getting discarded. Have you ever told anyone else?
No. I've been silent. Yagami-san, you know what? Back when I was a student in high school, I witnessed bullying firsthand. There was this kid. My classmates pushed him too far. And one day he just jumped off the roof.
Off the roof?
By some miracle, he survived the fall. And he's been in a coma for the last 13 years. Nobody knows if he'll ever wake up. His name is Mitsuru, and he may never open his eyes to the world again. His mom watches him, but she works full-time. She's a higher-up in the government.
I'm sorry to hear it.
The worst part is that his teacher knew. He even talked to the bullies about it. But all he said was, don't overdo it. But afterward, the public eviscerated him. He had to quit his teaching job. And yet, for poor Toshiro-kun, nobody was held responsible at all. And that includes me.
But if anyone was going to take responsibility for that, Mikoshiba should have been first in line. I'm sure Ehara-san must have thought the same thing.
You know what I wanted to be as a kid? I was so innocent, I wanted to be a teacher. And after Mitsuru-kun's tragedy, I felt practically obligated. And still, I just let history repeat itself.
What is going on? Having a party?
Hey, welcome back. Care for a drink, Yagami-san?
Heads up.
Now make yourself at home. Not that you haven't already.
Who, me? Well, whatever do you mean?
Kuwana's fine. He just swung by to have a chat with you, man. Not that I mind hanging out over beers and shogi.
Kaito's a gentleman and a scholar. I like your style.
What do you want with me?
Check it out, Yagami-san. You're only here to get to the bottom of that Hiro Mikoshiba kid's murder, right? That's gotta be the reason the Yokohama Liumang attacked you, isn't it? All I'm saying is that you've gotta cut me in, man.
Thanks, but I've got enough help.
So some hotshot detective strolls into town and tries to leave the local guy out in the cold? No offense, but that's not gonna fly.
You gonna play your turn? Just finish your game and go home already.
When you benefit from someone who knows the scene? You know, I can get you anywhere in a Jincho above or below ground.
Aren't you expensive?
I'll give you a first-time customer price. I'm not about to sit here and let some outsider swoop in and take all the credit alone. And that means I guess I'm gonna chill here until you give me the nod.
Tsukumo and Sugiura's place as far as I'm concerned. Not even my call to make.
I welcome having more company. The more the merrier. That'll be the agency motto.
I don't really care.
Such a nice office. I'm gonna love it here.
Yagami-shi, guess what? The internet picked up on the Ehara link to Mikoshiba. The trending sentiment is that he killed him in an act of vengeance for his son.
They've already figured that part out?
See for yourself. Here, check it out. Son of a bitch student teacher should burn in hell for bullying a kid all the way to suicide. Mikoshiba was a damn psychopath. Ehara is the vigilante groper. And that's not even the trolls.
So the news is blowing up on the net, huh?
In internet terms, this is only the first spark that could ignite into a fire. Not even what I'd call viral.
Then who's lighting the spark? The people responsible for Mikoshiba's murder?
I'll have to go down a few more rabbit holes before I can make that call, I'm afraid.
Gotcha.
That said, some posts are kinda suspicious. This one here, for instance. Ehara totally called the location of the body at his trial. The fact that he did that never really even went public, as far as I can tell.
It was kept off the record?
When Ehara got arrested, the cop-turned-groper story and his sexual battery charges were huge news. It was all the media could talk about. But by the time his trial rolled around, the news had already moved on. His guilty verdict barely made a blip.
Fellas, I told you I wanted to be kept in the loop on this stuff. You saying Mikoshiba had more than one killer? And where are they now? You think these lunatics are still hanging around Ijincho?
It's been over 2 months already, man. If they were here, they're probably long gone by now. Another peaceful day in Ijincho, right? Check outside.
It's the Leomon. The White Mask again.
Let's go, Chuck!
I'll catch you later.
Not bad.
You're not getting away this time! Oh, great. Where am I? You lure me here?
Don't worry, man. I'm not planning on killing you tonight.
Okay, but why else would you take off the mask?
Because from this point forward, Ijincho is closed. You won't be coming back. I'm Tesso. For what it's worth, I'm an officer candidate of the Yokohama Leomon. I hear you took out some of my masked boys the other day.
Oh, you mean those guys who thought they could sneak up on me in the afternoon?
Maybe if you hadn't resisted at the time, you'd be in a lot less pain than you're about to be in the near future.
Who's paying you to try to take me down?
This is a job that came down from the top of the org. I don't know who hired us, and to be honest, I don't give a shit either. But ripping up a kick-ass detective like you sure sounds like a good time. None of you guys make a move! I want to see if the rumors are true, so I get first taste. Show me what you got. Yagami! Shit, Sasso!
Whatever, stay still!
Look out below!
Running a little late tonight, aren't we, Kaito-san?
Yeah, my bad. Had to punch my way through a few guys.
Hey, you gotta run for it. If you stick around, it's not gonna matter how many lives you've got.
Yeah, but
If I run now, who's gonna pay for Tsukumo's window then?
Huh? For fuck's sake, I'll just pay for it. Now get out of there.
You got a deal.
Tak! Path's all clear!
I'm on my way!
Are we done here?
Yagami!
Yeah? You want something? What was it? Tesso?
Just want to say, I'm impressed. I wasn't expecting you to take out all these guys, to be honest.
Thanks. But if you're feeling generous, how about you tell me who hired you?
Didn't I say this before? I got no interest in doing that.
Can you do me a favor and turn down the job next time, maybe?
Yeah, right. If the request comes through again, I'm taking it. Simplest solution for you is to get the hell out of town. Me and my big mouth. Just go already.
Hey, not bad, man. A lot of young folks look up to Tesso, so gaining his respect is gonna have some perks.
All I want to know is if the Ryuman are no longer a threat.
Wouldn't go that far. Tesso's not the only young hothead among them. But hey, at least they probably won't blindside you anymore, and that's a victory in itself.
Guess that is a step forward. A baby one.
Anyway, we should go check up on 99. Something tells me they're not in the clear just yet.
Sugiura!
Yagamishi! Oh, thank God you're back.
Tsukumo, what happened?
He's knocked out cold. Damn it.
Masked men attacked us. I couldn't fight them.
Masked men, you say? Were they any different from what the Ryuman wear?
I couldn't get a good look. Sugiurashi, they stuck up on him with a bat and came after me next. They got me. My pinky.
They broke it? Hey, are you okay?
I'll call an ambulance.
There are these photos and a message I was told to give to you, Yagamishi. They said to tell you, this is your final warning.
They've been spying on me?
It hurts.
Shit. If they want me, then come after me.
Tak, I think the Ryuman were part of the plan, as bait. They probably only came to lure us away from the office. The worst part is it fucking worked!
This camera ought to show everyone coming in and out of the building. Look, there's me and Kaito chasing down the Ryuman. But here's the hitch. There were 7 of them, and they didn't have those trademark white masks. So clearly, they're not Ryuman.
They must have got the white masks to lure us out, meaning they're the ones calling the shots here. Wouldn't surprise me if they were also Ehara's accomplices to murder.
That'd be something.
Though, it's hard to believe a single murder could involve so many people.
Really? Why do you say that?
More friends, more loose lips. One slip of the tongue can bring down an entire group. Taking a man's life would require absolute solidarity from every single member. What could be their connection?
Could be they're Ehara's buddies in blue. After hearing what happened to his kid, they couldn't help but feel for the guy.
If it were me, yeah, I'd sympathize. But not enough to watch a man die. Or do the deed myself.
Yeah, who'd throw their life away for that? Unless we're talking about the mob over here.
That e-cig's that good, huh?
Considering the area's volatility, the Liumang are the best bet in the house. But if it's not them... Well, there is the Seiryu clan, but they have some decorum compared to these guys. And then the Komijul, the Koreans, they would never get caught on camera. They're shy like that. Go figure.
Impressive list you've got up there, Mr. Handyman. Too bad they're all dead ends.
Hey, if there's a crime in Kamurocho, would you know who did it off the top of your head?
No.
This footage is the lead we've been waiting for. Now we're gonna hunt them down for Tsukumo and Sugiura.
You get hit in the head or something? Find them and they'll mess your ass up.
Will they?
Don't you get it? They were planning to take you out, man. The Liumang letting you off is nothing short of a miracle. Or would you rather risk your neck over nothing?
Where we come from, risking our necks the bare minimum. You Ijincho guys must not see much action.
Yeah, well, in Ijincho, a handyman's wages don't cover life and limb.
I don't recall ever hiring you.
Yeah, and if you asked me now, I'd say hell no. This shit's getting way too over my head. And yours. Sorry, Kaito-san, but I'm gonna have to pass on drinks for a while. Send my regards to the lads.
Well, hey, never chase what leaves. All that said, I think we'd better take the day off. Can't go running around while our boys are hurting.
The agony! I was in a cold sweat all of yesterday. At this rate, I'll be forced to type one-handed. If you do the math, my pinky is worth more than an average person's whole hand. We're talking about at least a 30% drop in efficiency.
It's been a while since I got it this bad. I might even throw up.
So, leaving Kamurocho made you rusty, huh?
Really with that? If I could wish the pain away, I would, man.
Hey, if you've got the energy to complain, you'll be just fine.
I'm gonna make this up to you guys. I promise.
Well, if you want to do that, we'll need to figure out who and where they are. There's a high possibility this group is directly behind Mikoshiba's murder. And of course, that would mean they know Ehara as well. How about swapping more info with the Kanagawa police?
Let's save that for when we really need it. We're not the authorities here, so we need to play our cards close to our chest.
I think that's a wise decision.
Saori-san's on top of getting things set up with Ehara, right? In that case, I'll head back to Kamurocho. Take your time prepping. We can always regroup up there.
Those bastards might have gotten the jump on us. They won't be so lucky next time. But for now, I should probably take it easy.
What's up, Kaito-san? Something wrong?
Call me crazy, but doesn't the city seem noisier to you?
What the hell? Kaito's senses tingling or something?
Maybe they are. Well, no point trying to explain shit that doesn't make sense.
Anyway, I need to go talk to Saori-san before the interview.
Hold on a minute, Todd.
What?
I'm noticing a lot more punks scurrying around than normal. Something's up.
Really? Huh, maybe so.
Hey, don't I know you too? You're detectives around here, ain't you?
Yeah, so what?
You ever seen this guy before? A few years ago, he was the manager at some girls' bar nearby.
You really need all these meatheads just to find one dude? Must be one slippery eel.
Damn right he is. Now do you know him or not?
I'm thinking. Out of curiosity, what's a guy doing running a girls' bar?
I don't think he actually ran the floor or anything. All I care about is him up and vanishing out of nowhere.
So he's a missing person? Since when?
5 years ago.
I mean, disappearing from Kamurocho isn't that uncommon. 5 years? What do you really expect to find?
Your guy have a name? And who gave the order to find him?
You trying to be cute? We're the ones asking the questions here. Don't fuck with us.
Who's fucking with who, asshole? You want to ask questions? You're gonna have to ask nice.
Nice or not, information has a price. It's our bread and butter, so we don't give handouts.
How about I butter your brains on the sidewalk?
Straight to throwing punches, huh? Even the Yakuza treated people better than that.
Fuck off!
Hey, what's up? That all you guys got? Kamurocho used to be tough. Look at these punks.
Kaito-san.
Huh? It's Akutsu. First name Daimu.
You know him?
Former Tojo clan guy, ex-Yakuza.
Ex-Yakuza? Well, if you say so.
Yagami Detective Agency. Maybe I ought to just hire you guys for this. We're looking for a guy. You heard, didn't you?
This guy you're after. He was some kind of girls' bar manager here in town. I take it this manhunt is your idea?
Nah. Soma's taking point on this one. Came from one of his connections. There's gonna be a big pile of cash in it for whoever finds him. Practically all of Kamurocho's in on this race.
And Soma is?
He's the one in charge of the RK gang. Of course, he's former Tojo clan too. First name Kazuki.
That's crazy. Did the whole Tojo clan join this thing?
Kaito would know all about all the bullshit rules it takes to keep the Yakuza running. They'll take their cut from you and call it the honorable thing to do in the same damn breath. Right, Kaito? In this new age, wouldn't you be better off joining us?
You guys are too small time to pull that shit on me.
You know what else, though? In the Yakuza, if your boys went down, it was on you to get revenge for them. I don't give two shits about that these days. I would say, if there's someone disrespecting you, you might as well go get the jump on them. I would walk right up and stick them in the gut. You wouldn't even see it coming, detective. Yeah? So don't go disrespecting me. There won't be a warning next time.
Okay. Akutsu, you said? Did he get very far in the Tojo clan?
Nah. He may have had the potential, but he never got to make anything of it. The whole thing came crashing down before he got his time in the sun. Soma's the same way, actually. They both tried to climb up the Yakuza ranks, but then the families disbanded. And by the time that happened, all the pawns were cleared off the board. So, now they're ex-Yakuza in the win. And along comes this gang without all the rules and systems they were dealing with. You end up with RK, a network of thugs.
RK? What does the acronym stand for?
Who the hell knows? After the Yakuza, I guess they wanted to sound more Western.
If they think they can replace the Tojo clan, those are pretty big shoes to fill.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say they've been discriminating. Civilian punks who want quick cash are easy recruits. RK's happy to scoop them up. Next thing you know, you've got an asshole army.
That's unfortunate, but speaking of the Tojo clan, have you talked to Higashi lately?
Yeah. As far as ex-Tojo clan guys go, he's one of the good ones. The family left him in charge of that arcade, and now that they're gone, he's basically the owner. I heard he even gave some of the younger family guys jobs. If you get a chance, you ought to show up there every once in a while.
Nah, Higashi. I am the last person in the world that guy wants to see.
Oh, Saori-san. Yagami-san made it.
Sorry for the wait. I ran into some typical nonsense. We good to go?
I've been good to go for a while. Ehara is waiting, and so are the answers. First thing we'll want to try to get is how involved he was in Mikoshiba's murder.
From the way it's been so far, I doubt he'll be eager to tell you.
If he won't open up, we'll have to play the trump card. Yagami-san. Ehara won't know what hit him.
I don't mind being the ace in the hole.
Are you and your ego ready then, Yagami-san?
Well, this ain't my department. Fill me in back at the office, okay? I might even tidy the place up a bit if you're lucky. Lots of open bottles to polish off.
I'll be holding down the fort here. You watch after Saori-san, please.
Don't think you can strong-arm Ehara into confessing. The guy's a tough nut to crack.
Oh, I thought you'd lost already. So, what more could my lawyers want from me here?
Well, normally I would say the same. However, a corpse turned up as you said it would. It turns out you have a penchant for prophecy, Ehara-san.
Prophecy, huh? Kinda dramatic. No Hoshino today? Did you fire the poor guy?
Yagami's my name, sir. In a past life, I used to work with Genda and Saori-san. But today, I'm at Serio High School in a contract advisory role for one of their clubs.
Serio High School?
It's the same school Toshiro-kun went to 4 years ago. You'd know it. I happened to be out there working a separate case. But that was when Shirosaki-sensei called, and so that's why I'm here.
Well, well. Okay. Why are you here then?
That'd be obvious at this point, I'd think. As you know, Mikoshiba turned up as you said. His body was found in a warehouse. The question is, why did you know that well enough to proclaim it in court?
Haha. You might say it was a miracle. I wished hard enough for it to come true, and suddenly it did.
Care to tell us why you'd wish for a miracle like that?
Do you really need me to explain why?
Mikoshiba. You blame him for Toshiro-kun's death, don't you?
I do.
Even though when you took the school to court, no evidence turned up. A third-party investigation found no bullying occurred, didn't it?
At school, Mikoshiba tortured my son. He would beat him up, and then he'd demand all his money. That damn kid was a star student with high grades. My son's own class wouldn't stand up to him. To avoid being beaten, Toshiro used to. He'd steal money from me or his mother to make sure he could pay Mikoshiba off.
Ehara-san, you seem to know a lot about what happened to your son. Do you have any proof?
Would I have lost if I did? That school can rot in hell for all I care. Speaking of, you know what I'm convicted for. It was being a pervert. I admit to everything. I groped a businesswoman's ass in plain sight on a full train. There's no way I'm fighting for an appeal. So as for my defense, I'm in no need of lawyers anymore.
Ehara-san, just a second.
Why would I give you that?
Yagami-san?
Hiro Mikoshiba died in a lot of pain. His final moments were truly horrific. The last thing he felt must have been fear. After slitting his throat, his body was left to rot.
Doesn't that sound great?
Take a look at this.
Oh, Mikoshiba. Looks like he's seen better days. Where'd you get the photo?
From a teacher at Serio High. But where she got it is the interesting part. A strange woman gave it to her and said to stay away from the Mikoshiba case. You remember Sawa-sensei, yes? She transferred to Serio 4 years ago, not long before your son passed away.
Yeah, not a face I'd soon forget. She told the whole court he was never bullied.
True. She did say that.
And it's not just her I detest. The administrators, the lawyers. Felt like choking the life right out of them. But if anyone needed to pay, it was Mikoshiba. He got what he deserved. It's nothing short of insane that they were just gonna let him get a teaching credential. It all comes back to a flawed and broken system of laws that has no business calling itself justice.
And it was you, wasn't it? You orchestrated every aspect of how Mikoshiba would die. But you didn't act alone. Who were the people behind it? How'd you convince them to kill a man?
That's a good one. You, my friend, are way off.
The way that interview went, Ehara's definitely guilty. But if we can't connect him to the murders, we're left with no leads to follow.
Yeah. Kept that secret on lockdown, no matter what I asked. What could possibly link Ehara to those men? Damn it. And I was so close, too. To think they're still somewhere in Ijincho. I need to find them before the trail goes cold.
So you're heading back to Yokohama?
Not tonight. Kaito's waiting for me in the office. I'll be in town for now.
Okay. If anything changes, I'll contact one of you.
Kaito-san, I'm back. Kaito-san?
Hey, did you see that email from Tsukumo?
Huh?
It wasn't that long ago. It's something you gotta see, though.
What is it? Something happened?
It's the murder footage. Mikoshiba's murder ended up on the internet. It's going viral on all the social media sites.
You gotta forgive me. I'll do anything you want. I didn't know he'd do it. I swear. Toshiro-kun was okay. I didn't know he'd kill himself. I really didn't know. I swear I'll try to make it up to him somehow. I'll spend the rest of my life making up for it. Stop it.
What the hell?
Stop it. Stop it.
Ehara has an alibi for this, doesn't he? They already found him guilty, and that's the whole reason he couldn't have killed Mikoshiba, right? But if that's the case, what the hell is this? One way or another, either this thing is staged, or his entire alibi was a massive cover-up. They can't both be true. But there's something I just can't shake. If you want my opinion on it, this looks real.
I need to have another chat with Ehara. Damn it. I'm not gonna let him get away with this.
A train groping and a murder seem to occur simultaneously. Yagami relentlessly pursues these cases, attempting to poke holes in each. After confronting Akihiro Ehara, the key figure in both crimes, he witnesses a harrowing video that provides more questions than answers. In it, a bound man pleads for his life, but his attacker, bound by vengeance, snuffs it out.
So the murder footage is already making the rounds online. I don't think it's showing up on TV, though.
Yeah, the net's a mess right now. It's all unsubstantiated rumors and unverified sources. Typical, really. An ex-cop going from by-the-book sex offender to vigilante avenger overnight is prime forum drama. Sentiment seems to be swinging in favor of Ehara, but there's plenty of folks on the fence about it, too. The reactions have been all over the board.
Do we know if that video is authentic? I mean, CG has come a long way, right?
Oh, or perhaps a deep fake. That is plausible. AI has reached the point where it can generate pretty convincing facsimiles. Someone even made a video that made it look like the US president was saying a bunch of crazy stuff. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Deep fakes are only getting more authentic looking.
Can't guys like you tell if a video is fake or not, though? Aren't there any signs?
Oh, there are several telltale signs of a video being doctored. So I ran every check I could think of on the murder footage. And wouldn't you know it, nothing came up. Most likely, we're looking at the real deal.
Most likely?
Well, no one can claim with absolute certainty that it wasn't altered in some way. Which means it's not substantial enough to prove Ehara's guilt. At least not in a court of law.
Gotcha. Do you know when and where the footage was uploaded?
It was posted sometime last night, but the source is too hard to pin down. The uploaders spread it across multiple servers overseas in a well-concerted effort to hide their tracks.
Makes sense. But I'll bet it ultimately came from Mikoshiba's killers, no matter how real or fake it is.
How do you figure?
Think about it. No one could have staged that unless they knew the specifics of how Mikoshiba was killed. From how he was positioned to little things like the blood on the ground, every last detail was just as the detectives described it.
That's a good point. All this browsing's really taken a toll on the old pinky. Looks like another visit to Ehara might clear things up. You should ask Shirosaki-sensei about it.
Yeah, that was my thought too.
Let me get this straight. Ehara went and felt a lady up on the day Mikoshiba got killed on purpose? If that's the case, why the hell would he upload a murder confession after the fact? Is he trying to get caught?
Only Ehara could answer that one for you. I want to ask him that question myself.
So, we're off to see Saori-san then?
Oh, hold the door, please!
Huh? Mafuyu, you're here?
It's been too damn long, Mafuyu-chan.
Yeah. By any chance, Yagami-kun, are you working on a case for Saori? A video got leaked. It depicted a man committing a murder.
Are you here about the Ehara case too?
Of course. The prosecutor's office is in total chaos right now, especially the higher-ups.
I'll bet. After all, they're the ones who pushed for Ehara's battery conviction. If that video's real, that would mean Ehara got them to hand him a slap on the wrist instead of a murder conviction.
Yes. And it's not like the prosecution can say, "Sorry, Your Honor, we'd like a do-over," after the fact. To make matters worse, everything leading up to the trial was broadcast all over the news. Changing our tune now would undermine public trust.
That's for sure.
So, for the time being, our department is trying to predict how the defense will approach the situation. Hence why they sent me here to check in on my good friend Saori. Totally no strings attached.
Well, that clears up a lot.
There you kids are. Figured you had to show up sometime.
Mafuyu? You're caught up in this too?
Yeah, she ran into us downstairs.
I'm sure you can work out that I'm here to spy on you. But wouldn't you like to know what we're up to as well?
Are you sure that's your only motive coming here?
Sorry?
Something like a professional excuse to see Yagami-san?
In your dreams? I had no idea Yagami-kun was involved until just now.
All right. I'll accept that. For now.
Gotta say, I miss this little banter.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Needless to say, our office is going through this footage with a fine-tooth comb. That said, they've already determined their stance. They've deemed it an unreliable source and therefore useless as evidence. Basically, they want it to look like it was considered and already thrown out.
Huh? So, they're not gonna verify the video? Not even question Ehara about Mikoshiba? Nothing?
Nope. Not after it was proven in court that Ehara committed sexual battery on October 7th. I mean, wouldn't you say a conviction has a certain finality to it? Besides, there's no way Ehara could have murdered Mikoshiba within that limited time span.
Right.
Which means the murder video doesn't really add up, does it?
What are you getting at?
I'm saying the prosecution believes the video has been falsified. Special effects, CGI, whatever it is, we're not buying it.
Huh.
Furthermore, the prosecutor pushing that stance was the one who handled Ehara's trial.
And that is?
His name is Sadao Takano. He was the one gunning the hardest for Ehara the first time around, especially considering his officer status. He kept insisting justice be served, which got the public behind him rather quickly.
He certainly looked the part of the people's prosecutor, grilling Ehara in court.
So what you're saying is, Takano could never accept anything but Ehara's original sentence. Since this footage of the murder contradicts that finding, he just thinks it's a sham.
Yes, and he'd add that a fair trial's result can't be challenged by some video on the internet.
Well, who could honestly trust a system that changes its mind so easily? Both the prosecutor's office and the court are beholden to the case as Takano-kun presented it.
But that's just sweeping the issue under the rug.
It has a domino effect, too. The police are beholden to the verdict we got, so their hands are tied. This applies to both Tokyo and Kanagawa.
Really? Why's that?
Supposedly, they don't want to get involved with Ehara until they're sure the video is real. If they come in with a list of questions about the murder, it'll show that doubt's being cast on the original ruling.
Yeah, but no one can prove that the video's real.
Right. There's no way to verify the legitimacy of an untraceable video. But if the police aren't allowed to see Ehara, he'll never even become a suspect in the murder. That means he's untouchable.
Exactly. None of the detectives are happy about that. Especially down in Kanagawa. Their job is to bring in a suspect, but their leads are all ending up at the same dead end.
Until recently, people were lining up to bring Ehara to justice. Yet somehow his involvement in a murder totally derailed that.
Don't be so surprised. No cop would ever want to undermine a ruling based on their own findings. Anyone who wants to go against the grain's gonna need hard evidence on their side.
So the case goes cold, all to save face for the court and the prosecution. If Ehara really did commit murder, it'll have been the perfect crime. This debacle only serves as proof.
True. It would turn the trial into a farce. There's no way we're letting this go.
But wouldn't challenging this mean going up against the entire system?
Yeah. That scare ya?
Not at all. In fact, I was just thinking, we're the only ones who could take a case like this.
Ha! That's the good shit, kid.
This whole time, we've been writing off Ehara as a convicted sexual predator. But it's looking more and more likely the court played right into his hand. As for me, I'm done being played for a fool.
Then you've heard what I came to say. And with that, I will be on my way. But if you need help, just ask.
I think we're good for now, but thanks.
That did clear up a lot.
No problem. See ya.
Was Mafuyu-chan cuter than ever, or what? Think maybe it's time to light that flame again, huh?
How many times do I have to tell you, it's not like that?
Yagami-san, we should go see Ehara as soon as possible. I wonder what he'll have to say about the video.
Mafia-kun's pretty popular now, you know. A looker like her, I bet criminals line up for their day in court.
Anyway, what I'd like to do is ask Ehara about that video face to face. Any chance we could see him again?
I was actually about to suggest that. One moment. It's from Ehara's prison.
What?
Hello? Yes, this is Shirosaki. Yes, I can talk.
His prison? Why would they call us directly?
Guess we'll find out.
Understood. I appreciate the candor. That was one of the prison wardens. He was asked to convey a message from Ehara.
About what?
In short, he won't be speaking with his representation any further.
You're joking.
To be more specific, he said he's not taking any more questions. It seems he fully grasps the situation, even in custody.
How is that even possible?
I'm guessing the murder footage that was uploaded yesterday was also planned out in advance. That or Ehara's conspirators have to be filling him in. How else could he predict we'd try to see him again so soon?
I can see either of those scenarios making sense.
But only someone on the force could be leaking insider information to him like that.
Damn. This shit's turning into a full-blown conspiracy, eh, Doc?
Whatever it is, it's screwing up our plans.
Yeah, the timing couldn't have been worse. Now what are we supposed to do?
Come on. There are plenty of leads that don't involve grilling the culprit.
Yeah? I'd like to hear them.
Well, if it were me, I'd start with Saori-kun.
Okay.
The first thing I want to learn is whether Ehara is really the murderer in this footage. Given the entire sexual battery incident as an alibi, there is no way he could have murdered Mikoshiba. However, this new footage knocks the bottom out of that premise.
Right. Either his alibi or the murder footage. One of the two's been fabricated. Well, hold on. What if they're both real?
Both his alibi and the video? In that case, let's start with the murder. After committing the murder in Ijincho, Ehara would have had 13 minutes to make it to Ikebukuro Station.
Ijincho and Ikebukuro are roughly 30 kilometers apart. It's possible if he traveled 140 kilometers an hour.
Is it though? Ehara would have had to change out of his bloody clothes. So he probably ought to shave those 13 minutes down. On top of that, he was traveling during rush hour. It just doesn't seem feasible.
Okay, then let's rule that out. I'd say we're making some progress here, guys.
Boy, You're really reaching for that silver lining, aren't you?
I think we should revisit the harassment case. When the sentence came down in court, no one expected it to end up as a murder alibi. Plus, everyone suspected Ehara was working alone. He may have not been. All this makes a huge difference. No one would suspect a train groping to involve accomplices or alibis. The search for evidence wouldn't be as intense as for a murder.
But the entire incident was caught on camera, top to bottom. There's more than enough physical evidence, too.
Then we'll need to verify each and every aspect of the case.
Okay, what first? Should we investigate the crime scene again? Maybe we'll discover something new if we check out the station during the crime's actual time frame.
No, I think we saw everything we could there. Actually, if we're reviewing evidence, we could do that from right here, couldn't we?
What catches your eye specifically? I ask because fabricated evidence would likely show signs of tampering. This would prove Ehara's alibi doesn't hold up.
This part's still getting to me.
The Shinjuku station diagram? Did something happen at the platform?
Well, the majority of the incident was caught on camera. But I don't think we have any footage of what happened around here. It's not much, but it's a blind spot all the same. Hoshino-kun and I confirmed that at the scene.
Okay, but how would this blind spot change anything?
The first thing that comes to mind is it gives Ehara a chance to swap with the stand-in. The real Ehara murdered Mikoshiba in Ijincho at 7:30, then headed to Shinjuku Station. Then, just after 9 o'clock, he swapped places with the stand-in, getting caught on purpose.
So you're suggesting that there were two Eharas at Shinjuku Station?
Yep. And the true assailant, the Ehara lookalike, disappeared into the crowd.
Wait, if what you propose is true, does that mean Ehara never touched the victim?
Yeah.
But the police inspection revealed trace fibers from the victim's clothing on Ehara's hand.
Trace inspection.
Yeah, so no matter what, the fact that Ehara touched the victim remains standing. The victim felt his hand reach under her skirt right after the train departed Ikebukuro. She was scared motionless for the entire commute until arriving at Shinjuku Station.
Could you describe the victim for me?
She's an office worker married to an industrial designer. Also has a 6-year-old son. Full name, Yui Mamiya, 30 years old.
A wife and mother.
Perhaps if we talk to Mamiya-san directly, she could give us more insight than that video. She may even recall something none of us know, upon learning Ehara's alibi might have been fabricated.
That's a good plan. We'll finally have a fresh source of info.
In that case, give me a moment so I can get a meeting set up. We should have her address and other information somewhere on file. Bear in mind, Mamiya-san was the victim here. As the assailant's defense, I doubt we'll get a warm welcome.
That's pretty standard for us, I'd say. Nobody rolls out the red carpet for a detective, right?
Yeah. Say, Kaito-san, it looks like we've got some free time, so let's say we grab some food.
Now that you mention it, I am getting hungry.
Huh.
You think they want something? Bet it's not a friendly hello.
They do look like they mean business.
This Arcade's idea of an ambush? How basic.
Kaito-san, there's more.
Over there, too.
Same losers from yesterday. Guess they want to settle the score.
Looks like they rounded up some buddies and waited for us to show.
Well, whatever the hell they want, let's not get Genda-sensei and them involved. Follow me.
Okay. Alright, I'm getting fed up with this shit.
Why haven't they made a move yet? It's like they're waiting for something.
Whatever it is, they're taking their sweet-ass time. Hey! Quit dicking around and come get some!
What the hell? They're just gonna keep stalking us?
Nope. Thanks for waiting, assholes!
Shit! Let me guess. You're RK too?
Bastard went straight for our heads. Are you nuts, guy?
Shut your mouth!
That's one down.
We're not out of the woods just yet.
We really went all out on the backup. Is the whole town RK now or something?
Doc, we should probably get gone before the cops roll in.
Why? It's not our fault we're getting jumped.
Guess their plan was to come at us in waves. I've about had it with this crap.
Yeah. At this rate, we won't be meeting Saori-san and the others. Wouldn't want to drag them into this.
Good point. So why not hit RK at home?
Yeah?
Why not? Soma and Akutsu are at the top, and they probably remember me. I'll just ask them real nice to keep their goons off our back. Unless you want to keep dealing with these fucking scrubs.
I'm fine with making a house call. Any idea where it is?
Yeah, a club in the back of Theater Square. Used to be RK exclusive. Nowadays, I hear they let in thugs from all over. I admit, I'm kinda curious. This is it, Talk. Get ready to meet some shady people.
Yeah, shady is definitely the operative word here. Can't imagine this place gets a lot of foot traffic.
Who knew an entrance to the underground was right here in broad daylight? Alright, let's get in there and be done with this.
Hey, who the hell are you two? Got some invitations?
The Yagami Detective Agency doesn't need any. Say, is Akutsu or Soma around?
Detectives, huh?
There a problem here? This is a public business, isn't it?
About time you showed up. We've been expecting you.
Nothing like running into an old friend.
You want to talk to Akutsu-san, fine. But only Kaito gets in.
Why?
See, we all knew the Yakuza out in the cold would come around to us once the Tojo clan cleared out. Know what makes us such a hit?
Who gives a shit?
We got a system fleshed out. Your average gangbanger starts at rank F. But an ex-Yakuza, a Tojo head at that, fast-tracked right to B rank. Oh, and just for you, Kaito-san. The boss says he'll start you out at A.
Yeah, I'm sure you've got your pick of the chumps. But I'm here to talk to a fucking adult man. So get stepping and take me to Akutsu.
Spoken like a man with some balls. I can see why Akutsu's had his eye on you.
What? So I really have to just wait in the lobby?
You should thank your lucky stars you're not dead yet.
I don't know about this, Kaito-san. What if you need backup?
Relax, Talk. All I gotta do is talk man-to-man with Akutsu real quick, and we'll be out of here.
You heard the man. Now come on.
If it's gonna be that quick, I'll just wait right here.
Do whatever you want.
You're shit for business.
Ah, come on. Don't you want to be friends? Hey, think I could use your restroom? There's one inside, right?
Go shit on the cement for all I care. Restrooms are for guests only.
So, you in arcade too? I take it business is good lately.
Oh, hell yeah. Recruits are swarming in by the dozen. If you're looking for quick cash and Kamurocho, arcade's where it's at. Plenty of hotties, too.
Wow, and all you do is fool around on your phone. Talk about living on Easy Street.
Screw you.
Hey, not my fault they don't loop you into the good jobs. Bet those only go to the A-rank guys. You must be, what, F? F minus?
The fuck did you just say?
Oh, did I offend you? Sorry. Guess some gangbangers are softies.
I'll show you who's soft, asshole!
Sorry. Getting split up from my buddy does make me kind of an asshole.
Hey, where'd that new guy get taken to?
I heard Akutsu-san wanted to see him.
For real? Was he taken to the VIP room then?
Sounds like it.
Even I've never gotten in there. What makes him such a big shot?
Sorry, man. Take a quick breather.
Hey, you there!
Yes? Can I help you?
You better stop fucking around. Didn't I ask you for another round?
Huh? Another round?
You forgot my order already? I want my bottle.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Wait a minute. You know what? Fuck the bottle. How about you just mix me a cocktail?
But of course. Here, sir.
I hate to say it, Akutsu. I'm in a price bracket you couldn't afford if you wanted to.
I'm not saying you'd need to call it quits on the detective gig you've got going, Kaito-san. You can just give us a hand, help us out a bit when RK needs some real muscle on the field.
That a fucking joke? On what planet would I sign up for more busy work?
Think you might want to tone it down there, big guy? I've got my boys in the room. Being talked to like this isn't a good look.
Why would you care how you look? You're a bunch of damn Yakuza. You and Soma are picking up the Tojo clan scraps, yeah? Or do you have a real plan?
We'd have the manpower if we wanted to.
With all your washed-up Yakuza and punk-ass kids? I don't see it happening, man. What are you fucking thinking?
Exactly why we need more guys like you. Help me show this crew how the big boys roll. I need some authority on this to get it built the right way.
So you want me on as a drill sergeant for scumbags? Count me out.
Kamurocho's underground river of cash is still flowing, but there's no more Tojo clan upstream to collect it all. There's no more rules. We can run this town however the fuck we want. And once we've got ours, we can slip back into civilian lives to live it up clean as a whistle.
You want to be a civilian again? You're kidding.
Oh yeah. Want to have the cash to buy your favorite store, pop out a couple of kids and settle down with a family? Never would have been possible in the Yakuza life.
Well, why the fuck would you need me to do that? After you step into the shadow of the underworld, you never really escape from those chains. Don't sell me your bullshit like I'm one of your fucking brats. Huh. Sounds to me like your whole damn pitch just ran out of gas. Go out there and build your dream gang if you want. I don't give a shit. That said, if you keep bugging me about this shit, I'm gonna make sure you regret it. Keep your fucking distance from us.
Did you say us? Are you refusing to join up because you have a partner? Bring Yagami along for all I care.
Did you hear a word of what I just said?
I'd reconsider that stance if I were you. If you aren't coming along as a friend, then you're my enemy.
I don't take work from assholes.
Have it your way, then. Hey, round up the boys.
Sir. Hey! Get off your asses!
Too late for that. I knew exactly how this little chat was gonna go down.
Son of
Yeah, well, I knew exactly where you'd be for a chat you weren't invited to.
Well, if you're done over there, shall we get back down to business?
You're not walking out of here.
If you don't know how to use that thing, you're gonna cut yourself, man. You sure?
You fuckers are the ones who don't know shit. This whole damn town belongs to the arcade now, you know.
Now the whole town belongs to you, huh? You fucking morons. You're gonna have to pry this town out of my hands!
Now I understand why you wanted Kaito on your side.
Still got anything you want to say, Akutsu?
I can appreciate your perspective on this, Kaito.
In that case, you better leave us the hell alone.
Yeah, we can do that. We get it. It's fine. Right, Akutsu?
Why are you here? Aren't you busy?
Just checking in. You made quite a mess here.
Tak meets Soma. He's the leader of the RK.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
You keep saying we, but I don't think you know what's going on. You just gonna waltz in here and bark orders?
Kaito-san turned down your offer, didn't he? And the other guy is Yagami from his own detective agency. Before that, he was an accomplished lawyer. Now he's with Kaito-san independently.
It's my job to be running HQ, though. You shouldn't roll up unannounced.
I'm supposed to leave you to your own devices? I do have to check in, at least to show my face.
Got a cold?
It's a dust allergy, actually. Tough thing to live with. And I used to catch hell for it in the Yakuza. Quit that infernal sniffling, they'd say.
Yeah. That couldn't have been easy, man. I bet they would beat the shit out of you if you didn't blow your nose.
You know it. I do wish we'd had the time to work together, Kaito-san.
You as well, Yagami-san. It may feel like we're a small-time outfit in the immediate term, but RK will grow. We'll show you. But in the meantime, we'll leave the two of you be. Does that work?
Finally, some sense. Best of luck with the growth. As the leader here, you need brains and brawn.
Something else?
Your gang was out there searching for some guy in a picture. Oh, how'd that hunt end up turning out? He was some kind of girls' bar manager, wasn't he? It sounded like he'd disappeared from Kamurocho more than a few years back. You have any luck tracking him down?
We actually found that he's unfortunately dead. Likely murdered. Considering Kamurocho's reputation and the nature of his profession, I can't say I'm all that surprised.
Got it. I guess I was just kind of curious.
Always happy to oblige a detective.
I guess we shouldn't have taken RK so lightly, even though they're new to the scene.
Yeah. Supposedly Sun was the one who spearheaded the campaign to scoop up all the ex-Tojo. Turns out he's teaching the next generation of thugs about protection money, loan sharking, mugging. He's like an unemployment agency for shitheads. They've got 50 full-time bodies so far, but if you include part-timers and other associates, they may be well over 2,000 strong.
That's a lot. Even half that's a lot.
The Yakuza left behind a gaping power vacuum in this town. Even if it wasn't RK, someone else would have swooped in. So much for peace and quiet in Kamurocho, huh?
Saori-san's calling. Hello?
It's Shirosaki. Sorry for the wait. I found our file on Ehara's victim.
Oh, Mamiya-san, right? Yui Mamiya?
Yes, she lives with her family in East Ikebukuro. I'm about to make a quick house call.
Awesome. Then I'll be right over.
Good. See you sooner than later, I hope.
I caught all that. You go on ahead, Doc. This one's outside my area of expertise.
Okay. I'll head back to the office when I'm done.